Hi guys, it's Foye, but you can call me Foye.
Hey, this is Lola, but you can call me Lola if you like.
Hi, this is Velisa, and you can call me Vels if you want. And this is Everybody Hates HR Pod, episode 9.
Woo,
We're almost
9.
there.
One more to episode 10. I'm actually excited.
Guys.
Same.
We've got something special. This episode 10, which we don't even know what it is yet.
I was just going to say, Lola's making some empty promises.
I'm looking at her like, what's the special thing?
I'm gonna bring you guys as a minimum to celebrate. I'm gonna bring
Cakes.
you guys cake. Yeah.
Woo!
Homemade cake.
Banana.
Maybe not banana this time.
I really
Marble?
like the banana.
Marble's alright, but marble's just vanilla and chocolate, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Marble.
I like the banana.
Let's switch up for you.
Not every day.
We need
banana.
to try a range.
Do you know what? When I like something, I like it.
You're one of
I would
those.
have it until I'm bored of it, and then on to the next one.
I can make I can make like a chocolate orange brownies. Do you like chocolate orange?
No.
Like chocolate orange?
Yeah, I do.
It's
Or
not my
caramel
thing.
brownie.
I'm a very simple gal.
Milk
Make
chocolate.
you Madeira cake.
That's why she wants marble.
That's basically Madeira cake. Okay, I'll come up with something. I'll do something nice for you, and I'll do something basic for Velisa.
Thank you.
Put Lola to work.
And I'll make something for myself.
Yes. How's your week been?
Yeah, good. This is actually entering my final week of unemployment. I don't even know where the time has gone.
Wow.
And I'm very sad about it, but it's been good. I'm converting my second bedroom into an office, like a formal office.
Okay.
And I've just been like down the rabbit hole of like Pinterest. Like I've got so many pins on my board and like picking colours. Like I've been like doing the colour schemes and everything. Like, I've got samples and swatches and stuff on the wall.
Fun.
What colours are you going for?
Okay, so the colour there's gonna be like a feature wall. It's called Cannonball, so it's really dark.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second colour is called Overtly Olive.
Oh, that's what my bedroom is.
Really?
Yeah, my bedroom's perfectly olive.
It's nice, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's
I can't wait to know what these names are.
No, it's nice, but it's like the two colours complement each other really well. It's like it's like a green, but like a nice pale.
Yeah, like between like pale, sagey sort of green. Yeah,
It's a lovely colour. I
Thank
considered
you.
I considered it for my bedroom.
Thank you.
My bedroom is I'm thinking about redoing it. It's been like 3 years now, so it's like it's grey. It's got a colour called Goose Down, and then it's got a feature wall which is Teal Tension. It's teal.
How do you remember the names?
When you spend time picking
just be
colours,
like, Pale green.
You just do like
when you pick the colour, you'll know
it's true.
what it's called.
My living room is soft stone.
Mine is also Goose Down with Breton blue feature walls.
I like the blue in your living room.
Yeah, it's nice actually.
Yeah.
It is nice.
Yeah, so that's what it is. But yeah, when you're painting, you have to pick the colours, and you've got 26 blues. You'll remember which one you picked.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but that's what I've been doing. Just doing some home improvements. I refuse to pay anything to redo the office space. So basically, I need to do a clear out anyway. So I've been clearing stuff out, like clothes, getting stuff on eBay, getting like little bits that I have in my loft and like selling them. And I've been doing it for like 3 days now, and I'm at £150.
Oh,
So
well
my
done.
paint and all my rollers and everything are paid for.
It's not
Although
bad.
I'm actually probably going to use the money and spend it on myself. But it's nice to know that I've contributed in some way. Yeah.
What about you?
So my son got christened. Yeah, so I was really, really busy this weekend, just like cleaning and stuff. So not quite home improvement.
Did you have like a party?
Not a party because his birthday's coming. So I just invited like godparents and then like our families as well. But that was it. But so basically we moved into this house August last year, but the christening basically prompted us to do all the stuff we should have been doing since we moved in. Like I was saying to you guys, like the garden, the patio has to go. I need artificial grass. I'm not doing this.
But is it wood? Like decking, or is it
No,
like
it's literally
stone?
like stone, but like there's weeds that come up in between the stones and it gets like really moldy when it's been raining and stuff, and you have to blast it with the thing.
But sometimes it's nice to have patio.
No, but our whole garden is patio. Like the whole thing, like gravel and patio. I don't have time for that. Has to go.
What are you going to do? Whole thing gravel?
No, there'll be decking and artificial grass.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
as long as you
I
have somewhere you
can't.
can still put your garden furniture.
Yeah, defo. But the patio, no, has to go. But that's it really. I cried at This Is Us. If anyone watches This Is
I've
Us.
never watched it, but I've heard that it's a crier. Like, people always say that they cry.
It's so sad. It's a really sad.
Is that the one where, and sorry to reduce him to this, but it's Chriselle's ex-husband?
Yes, Justin Hartley, that monster. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anything about him. I've never watched This Is Us, but from Selling Sunset, I feel like he's not a nice guy.
He is not a nice guy.
Wow.
But even in This Is Us, he's not really one of my favourite characters. Shout out Randall. Randall's my favourite.
I don't think Randall's my favourite.
Who's your favourite? Kate?
I don't know if it's Kate.
Jack? Jack's my other favourite. Miguel?
I think I watched one episode one time. Is there like a family where there's like two white siblings and one black sibling?
Yeah, but don't reduce them to that. Like, it's more than that.
I've literally
do not call the big three.
I've literally watched one episode, and that's the only thing that I can remember. How did it? Because I didn't have the backstory. I'm like, why is this? Like, what? How did this family come together? I don't even care.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Because I want to watch it. No, because I want to watch it. Do you know what I mean? If you tell me now, when the time comes, I won't be able to.
No, I was just going to explain how it's two white people and.
Is it part of the storyline?
Yeah, it's a big part.
But I mean, like,
because when is it normal to give birth to
two like you couldn't even explain how it happened because there's so much behind it.
Like, no, but I wasn't something that evolves. Is it something that evolves?
No,
yeah. First episode, you find out.
No, you literally find out in the first couple of episodes.
In the first episode, you find out it's two white siblings and a black sibling, but you don't find out all the story. Yeah, until it develops. Yeah.
Just watch it, but it's gonna take time because of where you're starting from.
Yeah, it's like 6 seasons now.
No, but is it worth me starting?
No, it is.
Yeah, but you have to concentrate. It's not background noise.
Would it make me cry? Because I cry a lot at things.
If you're a crier, you'll cry.
Cried,
yeah.
Why did he go back in for the stupid dog?
Because Kate.
Not even stupid dog. I have a dog.
Wait, this is the spoiler.
No,
you have to.
As in,
Foye, you have to say this is a spoiler.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
Too late, you spoiled. It's spoiled now.
But she didn't say who went back in for the dog.
On this before I say it.
Okay.
No, no, but why? Because he really should still be alive.
Oh my god, someone died. So now I can't watch it. I know.
No, you can. You don't know who died.
The guy who.
Many people die.
It's true.
It's not funny. Foye, how's your week been?
My week's been so dry. I've done nothing. Like, I've done nothing. I've literally just chilled. Work has been working. I watched Doctor Strange.
Was it good?
I've
seen mixed reviews.
I liked it. Did you like it? Why?
I went with my brother and sister.
Did you watch WandaVision?
No. So this is why I think I went just because I went with them, if that makes sense.
Did you watch WandaVision?
No.
Do you know what? My boyfriend said to me when the film was like, he said, he was watching it one time. I said, why are you watching this? He was like, I need to watch it before Doctor Strange comes out.
Okay.
And then I was like, I want to watch, I'll come with you and watch Doctor Strange. And he was like, you need to watch WandaVision before because I don't want to explain things to you. I said, fine. And there was like the day before we were supposed to go, I hadn't watched any of it.
Yeah.
And then my friend said, it's only like 8 episodes or something. And they're like 30 something minutes.
Okay.
So the day we were going to watch Doctor Strange, I binge watched the whole thing.
And then did everything make sense?
It made a lot more sense. And I'm happy that I watched it.
Okay.
But I liked it in general, even without that. Like, I liked.
It just felt too dramatic. Like, it was just... Like, I don't understand. Is this judge? Is it like, it was just so over the top.
It is kind of though, isn't it? It is.
It was just so over the top. But
she's a Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, but also she's not really a bad guy though, is she?
Yeah, but she's like that's the whole thing. Like with a lot of these, I like villains where like there's a lot of villains because she's a villain here, but she's not in other places. Do you know what I mean? But I like villains where you can understand them. Like a lot of there's some villains in some of these Marvel things who are just on crud all the time for no reason. But a lot of them, you know how they became,
you know their villain story.
Like the Joker.
Yeah, exactly. But if you look at like X-Men, I guess in some ways, like Magneto has been at points a bit villainous. But he's not really a villain. Like he just wants to defend people in a different way to Professor X.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So I like stuff like that where it's like, you know, you've taken a couple wrong turns, but I understand why you're the way you are. Okay. And also, she's heartbroken. She lost her man.
Fair. But it was just, I don't know.
And also, I love Doctor Strange, so I'm a bit biased.
That was my first time watching anything. I didn't know anything about him.
I feel like I have controversial opinions when it comes to Marvel. Like, I really like Marvel things, but I feel like I like superheroes or Marvel characters who actually have real powers. Like, to be honest, crucify me if you want, but I don't like Batman. I just kind of feel like, what's Batman's...
He's a rich man.
It's literally his superpower. His superpower is white privilege. White male privilege is his superpower. Like, what the hell? He's just like some random, like, vigilante. Like, if he was a black man, he could never
get away with it.
Iron Man, I think, is cool.
He's also a rich man.
Rich.
Yeah, but I like Iron Man.
Yeah,
same,
but if you put me in a suit, I'll be the same.
Okay.
Did you know that Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats live in the Iron Man house? Like the actual Iron Man house.
And then they film in their house too.
Yeah, like it was Iron Man's house. Like that's where they filmed it.
But do they film, like, if they were going to film now, would they come back to
I'm not too sure, but it's his house.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I like the superheroes. Like, Doctor Strange is actually like, he's got stuff going on.
But his power is his cape.
No.
That's all I took from that.
Are you serious?
Wait, do you watch Marvel films in general?
No, I don't.
Okay.
And people did also, whenever anyone asked me, did you like it? And I was like, no. And then I told them I'm not a Marvel, like, I'm not into Marvel. They were like, yeah, you don't count then.
Yeah, that's why I just said, okay.
You count.
No, she doesn't.
Count,
but can I also say, when I was there was Marvel fans and they got up at the end and was like, this was rubbish, I could have watched this at home. So what are you going to say to them?
There's fans
I didn't know, but at least they have the backstory to be able to
they
say.
Didn't even stay for the extra credits, and I'm not a Marvel diehard fan like that, and
you stayed.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah,
but the ones after as well.
Yeah, no, I like it. Doctor Strange is like, there was a girl, Hema K? You know Hema K? Mm-hmm. One time she put on her story.
She's funny.
Yeah, I love her. She's hilarious. She put on her story, like, who would win in a fight between, like, Harry Potter and their man. And, like, the Avengers, like, if you had to pick a team.
Yeah.
And I was just like...
That's tough.
Yeah. What's
just Harry Potter on his own?
Not Harry Potter.
And
like, you could anybody who from the Harry Potter franchise.
Any of them.
You can pick your team.
Okay, no, they're winning
versus
Harry
the
Potter.
Marvel Mandem. Yeah, Avengers. And pardon?
Avengers.
Is that your answer?
No. I'm
Harry Potter will win.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyone, including thou shalt who not be named. Like,
and Bellatrix and all that.
Yeah, nah, they'll win.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
That's what I said. And everyone was like, it's the Avengers. And I was like, okay, cool. We got Doctor Strange. He might be able to do a couple of things, but it's Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah. But I'm a big Harry Potter fan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I am like.
So basically, all we're saying is Judge wins.
Of course. Magic. But not all magic is Judge in Harry Potter. When my dad bought me my first Harry Potter book, I was like 10 or 9 or something.
You're showing your age. Continue.
It just come out. We don't know when it came out. But yeah, so he bought me that. And then when I loved it, I read it, like, I was literally like reading it with my torch at bedtime. Wow. And then my aunt told him that it's a book about witches and I shouldn't be reading about witches. And he refused to buy me the second one.
That's what happened to me in Charmed. My mum tried to stop me from watching Charmed. Same.
I never watched Charmed. I watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I watched that as well.
I feel like Charmed was a bit older.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have really been watching it.
Okay, it was alright.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch was more...
Sabrina was good. Sabrina was super preoccupied with boys.
With Harvey.
Instead of her to be using the magic to be doing stuff. He was and Harvey won't even that.
But I remember when I was in primary school and we watched Harry Potter as well, and there was some people's parents that didn't let them watch it.
Yeah, you get
I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, some people's parents didn't let them watch it.
Yeah. HR news.
So there was a woman. This is my story. There was a woman who worked for a casino in Stratford, London, And
the Westfield Casino, is it that one?
I think so.
Yeah.
And so her team were planning to go out for drinks at Las Iguanas, which makes sense because there's one in the Stratford, Westfield.
Right by at the bottom of that.
Yeah. So it makes sense. Yeah. So they planned it in front of her, but they didn't actually invite her to go. But like some context, she had filed a grievance against one of the employees. So what I'm gathering is that she wasn't invited because that employee was going, is what I'm getting from it, to the event. So they didn't invite her. This happened in 2011, but now we're here in 2022.
I saw that and I was like, why is this? What happened in the 10 years? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why it's come up now. And she basically won was it unfair dismissal?
I think she won. They basically said it was victimization, discrimination.
Yeah, victimization, age, race. She won all of these things, and she won just over £74,000 in
What
the
colour
case.
is
She very important. It says mixed African heritage.
Yeah, apparently it was mixed race. But I don't know what
so maybe she's North African as well. I don't know, but mixed.
They said she was black, so I think she's half black. But I don't know what the other half was.
Okay, yeah. And she was the only black one on the team, which I think is important as well.
And she said that she thought it was because of that.
Yeah.
Why would you ever plan something and
in front of
someone
yeah.
and not invite
it's just
them?
rude as well. Like it's giving Mean Girls.
Yes, that playground culture.
Yeah. Work is play.
But you get it in some places where it's like really cliquey, and they do stuff like that. I mean, more time I don't want to be invited anyway. But if you like, I'll still feel away if everyone else gets invited and you're not inviting me.
Yeah,
give me the opportunity to say no. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, unless it literally is like a birthday party for the person who I raised the grievance against, then I don't see why I wouldn't.
In that situation, do you think it still would have been okay? Do you think the judgment would have been different? If, let's say, it was a birthday party for that person and that's why they didn't invite her, do you think the judgment would have been any different?
I think there's grounds for it.
Saying that to say that it might have made her uncomfortable. Because the way these judges move these days, I can imagine they would have still said the same thing.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I can. Like some of the decisions we've seen recently, I can imagine them saying, "Well, she should have been invited," and her decision whether or not to come.
Maybe because the grievance that she raised against that employee was to do with race. So,
yeah, but the employee could easily just be like, "You raised a grievance against me, and I don't want you at something that's for me."
And it wasn't like a work. It's not like it was a.
It wasn't work.
It wasn't like a official work event which was being paid for or anything by the company. I don't think. I think they all got together.
That's true.
And then they decided that they wanted to go for drinks, and they were just thinking, okay, the same way you would at work, you would invite the people that you chat to. But obviously, the difference is everybody got invited except her.
Yeah, I think it's because maybe where they discussed it at work, which is probably where the blurred line comes in. Because if they discussed it outside work and then they went, then maybe it's okay. But maybe because they discussed it in front of her.
As well.
Yeah, that's.
Why would you do that? It's
just mean, isn't it?
I've seen those kind of things where people talk. Like it's like bullying, where people will talk around you like you're not there. Like it's so disrespectful as well. I can imagine. You know what it reminded me of? I don't know why, but do you remember that Legal and General? It was giving me that sort of thing, like where there's like a bunch of you and one person is clearly the outcast. Yeah. And they talk. I can imagine they were talking and making plans and just acting like you're not there. And then when you're not there, they talk about you.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like with work drinks is always sticky anyway. Like you don't, like you said, I don't want to go anyway, but you don't want to be the person that's not invited either. It's just.
I wouldn't even mind if the conversation just didn't happen in front of me. If I find out the next day, oh, you guys went out or whatever, I wouldn't faze me. But if I'm literally there as you're planning it and you're not
specifically don't invite me,
yeah, you're not talking to me, you're not inviting me, then yeah, I'd feel a type of way, even though I don't want to come.
How do you like, how could an employer fix that? Because I'm just thinking about it now. By the time you've complained, it's already happened, right?
Yeah.
So what could somebody, and usually when something bad happens, the employer is supposed to make steps to address it or whatever. Like, how could they have addressed that?
They would have to talk to the people who spoke about it in front of her and talk about the impact of that and how it could affect anyone as well as that person. I think, but I feel like their hands are kind of tied because there's only so much they can do.
Yeah.
Maybe making it up, but I feel like, and I'm going to check, I feel like there was something about, she had made a suggestion that they do a refresher for some training.
Do you know? Do you know why though?
Double check.
Because I feel like what we've been speaking about is we haven't addressed the fact that she wasn't invited to these because she felt she looked different. We've just addressed the fact that it's just rude to not invite someone when they're in your presence.
Yeah.
So to be honest, work doesn't have an obligation to police that. Work has an obligation to police the fact that if she was not invited because she was different, then it had a responsibility.
And it's the victimization. It's because she had, I think they have a responsibility to protect you from victimization. So if you raise a grievance,
there shouldn't be
to make sure that you're not treated unfavorably because of it. And that includes telling people they're not allowed to treat you unfavorably because of it.
Yeah. But that's easier than having a conversation about race because like what we were saying last week, how can she explain or do you know what I mean that this is because of her race apart from her what I call the lonely only? How does she explain? It's really hard.
Typical, no, it's not. It's
not
because of your
it's not that. It's because of XYZ.
It's because you said this or you don't do this or you don't come out to the socials
anyway, so we're not going to invite you.
Here it is. It says the tribunal also ruled the casino discriminated against her by not replying to a request. So they didn't say no. Not replying to a request for a refresher training course, which was given to a younger white employee when he had requested it. So it wasn't actually about that, but that was part of it. So they gave some training, some development to somebody else. And when she asked for it, they said no. Or they didn't respond, sorry. So they're saying that why are they giving younger, I guess, white employees different treatment?
She was 51, by the way.
Yes, it's 51.
And that's their mess up, to be honest.
And do you
why would you decline? Or why would you not respond?
Yeah, big mess up.
Whenever I hear these things, whenever I read these tribunal things, I'm like, a lot of it is, even though people say, oh yeah, but we can't prove what happened, you didn't have evidence, blah, blah, blah. A lot of it, you don't actually, not that you don't need evidence, but the absence of being able to prove that the reason that you did it for will just fall on the side of the employee. So for instance, with the training, if the employee says you didn't do it because you were discriminating against me and you can't come up with the reason that you didn't respond to the training request, they will just side with a lot of times they'll just side with, I used to think that you need concrete evidence to say something, but actually you don't, which is good and bad, because it's good if in the side of a lot of the stuff is not said. They're not going to yell the N-word to be racist, but it's bad in the side of especially as HR, we've seen what they call them vexatious claims where there's no real basis. So it's good because even if you don't have all the evidence and you know something happened, you don't need to then go and prove all of this stuff in the same way. But yeah, it opens the floodgates for people just lying, which you always see.
Yeah, happens a lot.
And the other thing in this case, they said to her, I just remember they said when she submitted her grievance, they told her that if she submitted another grievance without enough evidence, that she would be subject to disciplinary action.
That's out of control.
Victimization. Yeah. Saying if you complain again,
if you can't prove if you can't prove the microaggressions, we're gonna flip this on you.
Yeah. If you make another claim and you don't have evidence on receipts and video, CCTV, then you'll be subject to disciplinary action. That's definitely victimization.
She should have got more than 74k.
That's what I'm saying. She definitely should have.
Who did she take to court? The individual or the employer?
No, the employer. She did.
Yeah, she should
She
have
should have
got
got
more.
I don't
more.
understand why.
She
Maybe
should've
it was
got
a
more.
civil claim because I don't understand how she's doing this 10 years later. How is it possible?
Also, has she been doing it over 10 years, or did she just?
I don't know. It
This
couldn't
year
have been. It
decide.
couldn't have been in for 10 years. Although I once worked on a tribunal claim, which had been going from 3 years before I joined the business and went for 2 years whilst I was at the business. So that was like
Wow,
5
that's
years.
5 years.
And it was so bad. It took so long to come to tribunal. And then when it got in, the claimant who had literally no basis, and I'm just going to go ahead and say was not together, like was not in full possession of his faculties. He appealed everything. He sometimes, if your claim, I don't know if you've ever dealt with a tribunal, like if you're where it's kind of shaky, but if your claim doesn't have good enough basis, sometimes they ask you to do a deposit order. So that's basically where like you have to put, if you go to tribunal, the judge will say, okay, we'll hear your claim, but you have to put like £250 down and you'll get it back at the end, just to make sure that you're not wasting people's time. He missed to pay the deposit order, so it just got thrown out. Then he said he made up all these reasons why he missed it. He appealed everything, didn't submit his evidence on time, didn't submit forms on time. He literally appealed everything. At one point, we had 9 different appeals from the same guys on different basis. And when I looked at his address, he literally lived on my road. And I was so close just to knocking on his door and be like, mate, give it a rest.
But you know, sometimes we would just do that just to waste your time.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're not trying to get anything. They just want to rattle you. They know that you're at work spending time doing that rather than doing what you're supposed to do for 5 years, and that's okay for them.
Can talk about the Netflix thingy?
Yeah, you're gonna have to help me chip in though, because I only touched on it lightly. But yeah, the whole Netflix issue was basically that they have terminated, I think it's 290 employees' contracts over the last couple of months. Bear in mind, Netflix has 11,000 employees worldwide. I just found out today. And Velisa thinks that's quite low, but
Yeah. But I work for a really big company, so when I hear like another company that's really big have smaller numbers, I'm like, oh.
You know, I never thought Netflix was like, I was actually surprised that it is that many people.
Yeah, I think that's quite low.
I think it's quite a lot.
But then when you think of what they do, it kind of makes sense.
don't they have, off topic, don't they have unlimited holidays?
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a company on LinkedIn, again, off topic, but I saw a company on LinkedIn talk about how they've cancelled their unlimited holiday.
I saw that as well, and everyone
Really?
gets 32 days.
Yeah, they said
That's
something about
still good,
having unlimited holiday. It was great, a great perk, but they found that their top performers were consistently unable to use it, and they were using around like 24 to 25 days a year instead. So he was just like, but obviously the subtext I read is that the lower performers, they get rinsing the holiday.
You're always going to get the abusers.
Yeah.
You're always going to get
But
the
he was like,
abusers.
the top performers aren't using this, and what's the point of having a benefit that doesn't? And then people will be telling you to use a holiday, but you can't.
Yeah. And he said that employees work better when they have clarity.
Yeah.
Because obviously if you have unlimited holiday, that doesn't mean that you can take half of the year off.
Yeah.
So he was saying, that stops people from taking holiday too. So with this clarity of you can have 32 days, it makes it clear that, okay, I have 32 days, not,
6 months.
can I take this?
Yeah,
Can I
and he was
not?
like,
Yeah.
I've used 25 days now. Should I really keep going, or is it not expected of me? Or?
And I read somewhere as well that actually
You take less.
you take less and you work more because you're more likely to take your laptop to where you're going, like if you're going away, and to check your emails. And when you add that all up, it's not really you're not really taking time off. You're just working abroad or somewhere else. So it doesn't really make sense. But
Yeah, Netflix 11,000.
11,000 employees. And so obviously they've terminated 290 employees, and the whole big hoo-ha about it is basically that these employees that they let go are apparently their most vocal employees on social media, so on Twitter and LinkedIn, and so most vocal when it comes to things like activism, so like LGBT community, when it comes to race and the whole stay woke culture. So
she did air quotes for those of you who
oh yeah, sorry.
the
I always think everyone's watching on YouTube, but that's not necessarily the case. Air quotes around stay woke.
Okay.
Sorry, that really scared me.
Sorry guys, we're in the studio and the door just opened and I think it was just the wind, but we literally thought like, who is coming
that
in?
scared me.
Oh my god, my heart just dropped. I was literally thinking, who will I have to sacrifice? Who will I have to push in front of the
Do you know
intruder?
what though? It'd be caught on camera, so
That's true.
if we were not here,
We're not live
God
streaming. They'll
forbid.
just take the memory card.
So true. Acting like someone's gonna upload it.
Sorry, God.
Yeah, so basically, stay quote people were released from their duties, allegedly. Netflix has come back to say that's not the case. They just let go of X amount of number of employees because they were going through a hard time because subscription numbers are low. Because obviously, as you know, Netflix is not that great anymore. It's just kind of
There's a load of streaming platforms.
Yeah. They've got a lot of competition now.
Yeah.
And their prices are going up. So I think people are starting to unsubscribe. Have I missed anything?
That a lot of the people they let go were like making content which was serving those underrepresented communities as well. And yeah, they basically said it's nothing to do with that. And actually, what I was thinking, the first thing I thought was a company like Netflix, if they have a drop in subscriptions, it depends on how steep the drop in subscriptions is. But letting go employees straight away after you see a drop in subscriptions is actually crazy, and especially employees that are involved in making content, because really probably what you want to do is invest in creating new content that people are going to need. And I feel like, from what I know anyway, Netflix is cash rich, so the moment you see a drop in subscriptions, it's not like they're about to go under.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So why did they need to let go of all these people? Well, not even that many people in the grand scheme of things.
No.
That letting go 200 and whatever employees out of 11,000 is not going to be the thing
No.
to keep your company afloat. So yeah, I definitely think like, because there was all these stats around how like vocal these people are on social media.
Yeah.
And then last week they had that email that went out.
Yeah, the culture memo about, basically saying if you don't like the content that Netflix are producing and making, then you can leave because they're not going to stop.
They sent that out to their employees.
Yeah.
They basically said, they say we have a diverse audience and we need to basically serve that audience. And that means that you're not necessarily going to agree with the views in all of the content we put out. We still need to put that content out. And I don't know if was it in response to the Dave Chappelle stuff?
Yeah, to the Dave Chappelle comedy stand-up that they produced. Dave Chappelle made comments about the trans community that a lot of people, it didn't sit well with them. And there was an internal protest as well, from what I remember, at Netflix by some staff members saying, take it down basically.
And they said no.
And they said no.
And so just a week after they put that email out to say, look, you're not going to agree, and if you don't agree, leave. I think it's crazy that in the same time frame that all of the people who are probably most likely to be going against that are the ones who have seemingly now been let go.
Yeah.
That is too much of a coincidence for me.
Redundancy, basically.
Yeah, I'm not backing Netflix on this, but I will say, looking at their stocks, Netflix stocks were at $700 per stock last year, and now they're at 170 something. So that's a proper, when you look at what Netflix is worth, that's a significant dip in value. So I kind of get it, but like you said, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And also I would be interested to know what type of activists have been let go apart from LGBTQ activists and race, because you also get the people who are like far right, or do you know what I mean? Like about I don't know if there's a Donald Trump documentary. Do you get what I mean?
Like people on the left that they're talking about, because didn't it say something in that memo about woke and all that stuff anyway? Like true. That I think they're talking about left, and obviously it's really people on the left that are more likely to be vocal about protesting against something, because people who I guess are more on the right and have those views I feel like they're less socially acceptable to protest about, like, unless you're like proper Trump supporters and that sort of thing. But I feel like it's probably more people on the left when they talk about like staying woke. And I said before, like, I just hate the way that word has just been co-opted and turned into something so ugly. Like, before it was about being aware of like what's happening and, you know, all of that other kind of stuff. Now it's just like it's used to mock people who actually want to raise awareness about important things. I do think it's important though to know that when you do work in a workplace, you're not going to agree with everything. Of course.
And I think I still think what Netflix did is wrong, if it's true that they got rid of the people who are essentially have powerful voices that they could have used to their advantage, and probably were until it wasn't working for them.
Remember that tweet from that lady said that, you know, Netflix did a really good job of getting, you know, people from marginalized groups in, people from like non-white backgrounds. They did a great job. They were super engaged in their work, and then now they've all been fired.
They're the first to go.
Yeah, so I think... I don't think you definitely need to agree with... It's for each individual to decide if that's important enough to you. Like, there'll be this, like, especially like as HR people as well, like, everyone needs to have their own point where they're like, okay, this is what is okay for me and this is not what's okay for me. So there's always going to be things that you don't agree with that your employer does, but it's about how important that is to you. And so, for instance, you know, it could be like when I was at the Boston Consulting Group, BCG, their CEO supported Donald Trump. He's advised Donald Trump on his campaign. And he's like one of the most powerful people in the world, like the chief executive officer of BCG. Like, they literally advise companies all over the world on how to make more money, how to do like loads of things, how to grow, incubate businesses, everything. Like, it's literally one of the most important people in the world, like somebody who probably should be independent, and he is acting in some sort of personal advisory capacity to Donald Trump's campaign. And for some people, like when we did the town hall and he was there, like people were like, okay, what does this mean? You know, blah, blah. And it's like, well, we're doing it. So you can, if it's that upsetting to you,
you can leave.
Deuces, isn't it? Like, peace.
Which is what Netflix have said.
Yeah, that's what they said. But obviously there's a way to say it. They were a bit more direct. But yeah, it's what they've said is the truth for all organizations. There's very few organizations that are going to bend to the will of every employee, or even bend to the will.
I don't think there's any. It's hard. You can't. There's too many people to bend to.
It's true. It reminds me of when Donald Trump, he tweeted and he put it on Facebook, I think, as well. And both those companies internally, like, a lot of employees were like, you need to ban him, basically. You can't continue. And I think he's still banned on Twitter.
Donald Trump banned on Twitter?
He's still banned on Twitter from when he said,
unban him.
He said when the looting starts, the shooting starts. That's what he said. And it was when God, who was it that ran up in the constituency? I forgot who it was. When the whole after
when they all ran to Capitol Hill.
That's it. And he said but it was after the George Floyd stuff.
When he basically said
and he says when the looting starts, the shooting starts. Exactly. So then Twitter and Facebook both were considering, should we ban it? Should we remove his statement? We've got freedom of speech, blah, blah, blah. And internally at both those companies, there were protests. There were like people being very loud saying, if you don't take this down, then you're basically agreeing with what he's saying and things like that. And yeah, I believe he's still banned on Twitter.
Where does it stop? I remember there was one employee at Twitter. I think I don't know if it was the day he was leaving. I
think I remember
blocked
this
or something. He took down or he did something to Donald Trump's account the day he was leaving the company. I'm sure.
What did he do?
I can't remember. He either put out a tweet or he blocked his account or he did something to Donald Trump's account the day he was leaving the business. And I just thought,
what? That takes balls.
I know. He just thought, you know what, I've been wanting to do. Imagine, you know how hard it must be to sit there working for a company that is that allows people to have a platform.
Yeah.
That sometimes hate you.
Yeah.
You're allowed, like, that's that lady that's been banned. You know, the really trolly one. What's her name?
Kate Hopkins.
Kate Hopkins. Like,
she's gone quiet.
I don't even know if we told you that they banned her from Twitter. I don't know.
Yeah, but she still appears somehow one way or the other.
She's still got Instagram.
I don't know if we told you, like, I think it was the episode that Foye and I did, but we've been having some issues on Instagram. Our link, our link tree, it's like linktree.com/everybodyhateshr. So one day I saw it had disappeared. And I said, Foye, this has disappeared. So it was like, I think you were maybe at a wedding or you were on holiday. We were just doing some stuff on Instagram. And I was like, it's disappeared. Let me put it back. So I put it back and I got this pop-up from Instagram saying, your link violates the terms of blah, 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 blah. I was like, what? And then we clocked. They said, I read it and it says, we're not allowed to have hate groups.
A hate group.
Because everybody hates HR.
That's quite hilarious.
And then they blocked us from commenting. And stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, we need to remove it. So I changed the link to EHHR, like everybody hates HR. They were still reading in the inside.
Really?
They blocked us again. And then now that's why we've got the YouTube link up. And we just need to figure out how we can put the link so that everyone can access everything. And it's like, you guys go after the real hate groups.
Do you know what I mean?
Like,
I still see hate groups online. Like, they don't take them down. But us, everybody hates HR.
You want to fight us?
Wow.
We're just like,
it's in our name. Why do you let us have the name and then not let us have the link?
That is actually crazy.
Yeah.
So they're trying to bring us down, man. Yeah. And I'm actually worried if we could, like, I was like, okay, let's try a different, but I'm worried if we try it again, delete our account or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can do this dilemma. I'll get it up. It's interesting. It's about a disciplinary. So someone's been called into a disciplinary. Mm-hmm. It says, hi, blah, blah. Will I be able to resign, preferably with immediate effect or even by serving notice, after the investigation stage, but before the disciplinary meeting? Could there be any risks in doing this? I fear that if I do it with immediate effect, they won't accept it and I could breach the contract. On the other hand, if I give 1 month notice, I fear that the disciplinary will still go ahead. This is a poorly paid call center job.
Not poorly paid.
This is a poorly paid call center job at an outsourcing company, and the allegation is a court avoidance, which is obviously kind of
that's your whole job.
Any advice would be highly appreciated. Thanks.
That is so funny.
Literally, your
whole job.
The allegation is avoiding yourself.
I haven't been doing my job.
Basically.
Okay, so let's break it down. So basically, when you go through a disciplinary process, there's like the investigation part, which is like, if there's an allegation, somebody has to basically say, like, somebody has to investigate to say, actually, are we going to go to, is there grounds? Mm-hmm. Is this like actually based on anything? And then if there is, then there's a disciplinary. And then I think this person is basically saying, I don't know why they're trying to time it so specifically between the investigation and the disciplinary, maybe just to get the extra few days pay, the poorly paid.
That was going to be my questions, like, why
are you doing now? You work in ER, have you ever seen it? Like, I think from my experience, if you do resign in the middle, like before you've actually had the hearing, more time they just forget it.
I'm not gonna lie, as a HR person, when someone resigns, you're always like, woo,
yes.
no paperwork for me. I always say to people, like, you can resign when you want. Like, you don't have to wait for any timing to resign. If you want to resign and you feel like it's best for you, resign. But just know that the ER person dealing with it is not going to be sad. They don't have to do the disciplinary process with you.
Would it happen that if let's say if the investigation has, for instance, taken place and it says there is going to be a disciplinary hearing, if that person resigns,
they're probably not going to work their notice. Like, if somebody resigns mid disciplinary or mid investigation, you're not going to work your notice, because it's in best interest for both parties that you're paid your notice in lieu. You go about your happy business,
and you haven't been dismissed.
Yeah, and you haven't been dismissed, which is why I say it's in both people's interest, because you've got that control still of saying, I left on my own terms.
Have either of you ever seen it where somebody has resigned but you've decided on principle to still go ahead with the disciplinary?
Not with a disciplinary, but with a grievance.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I've done it. We've had it with a disciplinary.
That's paid.
Really?
That's really paid.
But only because of what it was.
What was it?
So basically, it was a recruiter who had contacted a candidate about a job, and then outside of work, they then contacted that candidate, told the candidate, I think you're sexy.
Oh gosh.
Basically came on to the candidate. The candidate was thinking, oh shit, like if I don't blah blah, will I not get this job? Yeah. So basically on that basis, like the candidate then contacted the company and said, look, your recruiter has done this. I feel really uncomfortable now. This is why also I tell you, people, never put your address on your CV.
Yeah, I don't know why people do that. Yeah.
So the candidate basically said, my address is on my CV, like, and he has my address. He's taken it and then used it on his personal phone and WhatsApped her, send her messages like 3 a.m, blah blah.
Oh my gosh.
Said that she should add him on Snap. He thinks she's so sexy, blah blah. Anyway, he resigned. Still went through. He didn't attend the hearing, obviously, and it just gave him the thing in that it was on principle. They didn't have to be honest, but the manager was so like, and the candidate called them was literally in distress.
I can imagine.
So I feel like they did it on principle, and just in case the person never came back, like at least we can say that we did what we needed to do. So that's the only time I've ever seen it. But for call avoidance, I think I think it's less likely to I think it's less likely to be an issue.
Yeah, you don't like your job, so
this
it's okay.
hates their job.
We don't know that he
No. They hate their job.
Call avoidance.
Poor pay.
It's an allegation.
They said what?
But with
poorly paid calls in a job.
Well, I remember when I was in
calls when that's the whole
but
basic
exactly.
of your job. You don't like your job.
No, they know.
The allegation.
It's not an allegation. Well, when I worked, when I was in college, I worked at GSK.
I worked at GSK.
Everyone worked at GSK.
I didn't work at GSK.
Elephant.
Yeah. I worked at GFK NOP.
Yeah.
It
was a call center.
GFK.
But they were recording our stats. Yeah, exactly. So if they were doing that back in 2000, then then obviously,
oh my God, so we must have worked there together.
Everyone works there.
Worked on this.
What is it?
A call center.
But it's like,
and they give you different clients to
survey.
call for.
I remember I did this dead TFL one. I used to pray people would answer the questions. To be like, can I ask you a survey?
Because your money depended on the client.
You get commission in it. You get basic, and then you get
like a low base, and then
every 2 weeks.
Yeah, every 2 weeks. And so like, you have to call people like, on a scale of blah blah, how satisfied would you say you are with TFLs, blah blah?
Do people actually
old
stay on
people?
the phone?
Yeah, they'll keep you company.
The more elderly ones. When they used to get them, they'd be like, do you mind doing a survey? And then you need a certain number of people. So once all the kind of more elderly people have done it, they'll just screen them out. So then you're trying to get 25-year-olds to answer the survey. Just hoping that, it was.
I'm not gonna lie, I made up some answers.
What if they're
on the computer, the green.
You would hope they're not listening, and the person's 65 and you put 25, and just keep
like, that's what I heard.
Yeah, so if that it was anything like that, Joey probably didn't like it.
Yeah, like they were seeing his stats and seeing he's not making any calls.
Yeah,
then.
But I think
but this one sounds call avoidance means you're not
even trying.
Calls.
Yeah,
like you're not even fabricating
it must
stuff.
be an inbound call center.
Yeah, and he's just letting the phone ring out.
Allegation. Can we
Okay, allegedly,
he's saying the allegation.
He or she, actually, I'm even saying he.
It's true.
He or she is letting the phone ring out and avoiding calls
Might have been busy
because they don't like how much they're being paid to do their job.
That's hilarious.
It's a point. If they paid him more, you'll answer the calls.
Basically, that's how most people work.
No, but to answer the dilemma, you can resign at any point. If you're trying to like make the most of the money, you can resign until the last possible moment. I've had people resign the hour before their disciplinary meeting. I've actually, if you really want to be really violent, you can
really violent.
Yeah, you can. You know, you can just delay. You say, "Oh, sorry, I can't make it for some reason," and then delay it for reschedule it for another couple of days. Say you want to bring a colleague, but that colleague's not available for 3 days. Do a couple shifts, resign then.
It's true.
You're
in control.
But
when you resign.
And if you wanted to be really, really violent, not in a call center environment, because I know you don't get sick pay. Like loads of people just go off sick.
Yeah.
And then your disciplinary will happen in a month when you've got a new job.
Yeah.
And if you want to be extra violent, get a sick note.
Yeah.
Get
signed off.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I understand why doctors do it this way, but I could literally call up my doctor tomorrow and be like, I'm stressed
at work, yeah.
And then they'll just send me off for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Here's 2 weeks, stressed at work.
Come back into another 2 weeks. Are you still stressed? Yeah, it's another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I hate when I see a doctor's note come through and it says stressed at work, and it's like,
what are you stressed?
You're not stressed at work.
Yeah.
You're not. And now I have to treat you as if you are. And now you're prolonging my PIP. Because you're stressed at work.
You have to treat it like, literally, you can tell doctors anything, because like stuff when it comes to mental health, that's what I'm saying, it's good and bad. Because
mental health.
It's good that we have the interventions in place to be able to like get support and get time off, and people take it seriously. But then again, whenever anything's too easy, people just abuse the system.
Oh yeah.
And then the moment what I'll say, in the Netherlands, they have this thing. I was doing a PIP with someone in the Netherlands. And I spoke to the lawyer, and the lawyer said, basically, before you serve someone a PIP, this is the most violent thing I've ever heard in employment law. Before you serve someone a PIP, you can basically call, like, I don't know, the labor department, and then you can basically tell them in advance, we're going to put this person on a PIP. They are not sick. They have not called in sick. Then nothing. And then if you tell the person that they're going to go on a PIP and they go off sick, you can still proceed with the process.
Oh, really?
You don't have to hold. You know, like if someone goes sick, you need to wait and make sure. Nope. This way, you can either choose. You can just move forward.
From a HR perspective, I like that. From a people perspective, it's not nice.
Yeah,
it's
really, not
really
nice.
Bad.
It's not nice, but it's literally you call them and they don't tell the person that you've lodged it.
Oh, really?
So no, you just lodge this form with them and say, look, this is what I'm going to do. And then it means that if the person then tries to say they're sick, you can disregard it.
I'm really surprised at that from the Netherlands.
Yeah, same.
People oriented.
Friendly.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But thank you very much for that dilemma. I hope it was helpful. I'm sorry that you're going through this. Disciplinaries are not nice for anybody.
They're not.
But if it is a poorly paid call centre job and you don't like it, you're going to get another job. Yeah, it'll be better for you and you'll enjoy it more.
In fact, I hope you've already left.
I mean, it was today, so I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's left. So, I'll be sure to, on top of putting it in this, actually send it directly in case the disciplinary is. I don't want to have to wait for 5 days.
Lingering.
Exactly.
I think that makes time.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks.
You know the good stuff, like, share, comment, subscribe, retweet, all of that stuff on
Follow us on TikTok,
on every single platform,
on YouTube, Twitter.
Yes. If there's any content you want to see more, because obviously people liked us arguing about our height,
which we still need to resolve.
I think
there's Foye, we're going to resolve it.
It was unanimous.
It wasn't unanimous.
First of all, there was a few we need to do this without shoes on. 1 or 2 out of like. Foye, I'm not doing 70. This with you in public.
If there's any content you want to see, let us know.
Yeah, more than happy to help.
That's a wrap, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.